Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Wantapreneur Wednesday. My name is Patricia Cimino, and I'm a certified life coach, and I help women discover the next chapter of themselves. And this series was inspired to it was created to inspire women who are trying to discover what that next thing is going to be. So for the past 4 months, every week I've been interviewing a different woman entrepreneur, whether it's someone who has a bricks and mortars business or a direct sales business or is an author, or in some type of public speaking. And today I'm super excited to bring to you someone who has started an organization. And her name is Jean LaVallie, and she started a networking organization called WESOS, which stands for Women Entrepreneurs Secret of Success. So I'm super excited to share her story, and hopefully something in there might spark something within you. And maybe the entrepreneurial route will be something you'll want to jump into. So welcome to the broadcast, Jean. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me, Patricia.
You're welcome. So I just want you to share with the audience, who you are and your journey of how it even happened that you ended up starting this networking organization, which has become, I want to say, one of the fastest growing network organizations for women entrepreneurs. And it's just like catching on like wildfire. So please share with us where things started and how you got to where you are today.
Well, if I went into the whole story, I'm afraid that would run out of time. It might be dinner time. It's very simple, but super complicated when I look back on really how this journey began. And quite simply, I wanted to create a networking group that I wanted to go to. Many times I would go to networking groups that almost seemed like it was an extra job, where I was told to bring leads and I needed to have so many leads, and it wasn't worth me coming if I didn't bring leads. And then they were expensive, and I was a new entrepreneur, and I really, really, really wanted to keep the cost of coming to a WESOS meeting reasonable. And also then there was always that element that sometimes you'll get when you get a lot of women together, which is a little bit of clickiness or cattiness or judging. And I really, really, I hit 50 and I thought, I'm done with that. I don't want to be part of that culture anymore. And without me even knowing what I was doing, I was creating a group where that culture would be, almost demanded upon you that you're going to get along with everybody. And no, you don't have to be friends with everybody, but we're going to be respectful of each other. And I think that's really the bottom line for WESOS is a safe place where women can come and find resources and also find the support that they need as an entrepreneur. And unbeknownst to me, there is a boatload of women in the world who feel the exact same way that I did. It just took me to put my hand in the air and say, you know what, this is not right. And, I built it and they came, I like to say. So
you certainly did. And I have to tell you, you guys, because I'm part of this networking group, it is truly a special group. It is definitely unlike other groups that I know I have ventured into. It's a very genuine feeling among the different entrepreneurs, the different ladies who are there. And tell everyone, Jean, a little bit about the process, like your one-on-ones, because I think that's a really cool, way that you have structured it.
Again, unbeknownst to me, it became very clear to me that when I was going to meet people that I met at networking events, the main focus of getting together with each other was to talk about your business and to try to get a sale. And oh my gosh, that was exhausting. And not only exhausting for me to have to try and find a way to sell something to someone who I really just wanted to say, hey, how's your day going? But then to be listening to someone go on and on and on and on about a product that, yes, I see you're very passionate about, but I don't know what that has to do with me. So what I really wanted was to set parameters around meeting with other women and getting to know each other first. build a relationship with someone first before you shove your products down their throat. So, and you find out too, once you really start to talk to somebody, you realize that you don't want to shove your products down their throat. You want to see, do you really need this? I do that even with the members of WESOS in our directory. Do you really need this? Are you going to see a return on your investment? Are you going to see some type of positive return for spending this time with me? So our one-on-ones set us apart 100%, because when you study communities, it's not just people gathering because we have a common thread. It's people who are gathering who genuinely care about each other. And that's really when you walk into a WESOS meeting, that's why I tell everybody, I'm not WESOS. Denise is not WESOS. Every member of WESOS makes WESOS who she is. And we're all there for each other. And that is what makes our community so special. But the other thing that sets us apart is our intention. And our intention is that we will always be there to support each other, that we will not sell to each other, that we will build authentic relationships, and we will share our resources. There's no reason why just one woman can make it to the top. We can all make it to the top, and let's do it. Let's all join hands and start climbing together, girls, because that's really what the intention of WESOS is for us to be that ship, all the ships that are being raised up by the tide, because we can do it together.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how long ago did that start for you? When did this start, and how long of a time period was this when you first started it, and like where you're at now? Because I think there's like, what, 600 or 700 members in the organization now?
There's over 3,500.
Oh my God. What am I that I see with the pic.
What I'm most proud of is that we have a chapter that is on the schedule now for the end of August in Portland, Oregon.
Wow.
We started in Bolingbrook, Illinois, and we have 12 chapters in the Chicago area. We have 2 in the Denver area, and we'll be opening in Portland. So it's pretty incredible what has happened. And our Portland gal, she was moving to, she lived in this area, and she was moving to Portland. And what she came to me and said was, I really want to move, but I just don't want to leave WESOS. So we talked, and she applied to become a leader out there, and that's what she is now. So I forget the original question.
So that was it. I asked, how long ago was it that?
So it was 2010. I joined Women's Entrepreneur Secrets of Success, even though it was just a teeny tiny little organization, just a little meetup, and realized very quickly that I loved listening to other women, and I loved being listened to by other women about my job. And in 2012, I took it over. In 2015, I incorporated and had no idea what I was doing. And then in 2016, I met Denise Schmidt.
Yeah.
And she has such a brilliant business mind.
Yeah.
And we partnered, and we finish each other's sentences. It's really kind of scary, but very, very two different types of women, but that work so beautifully for WESOS.
That's awesome. I love that. Just the whole way organically it grew for you. And you mentioned Meetup. I know Meetup recognized you and this organization. What did they recognize you for? I know that they got you involved in their corporate office as far as how to organize meetups, because you've done it so well. So share that.
And I don't think that I did anything any differently than a lot of women do. When you're having people at your home, you're not sitting on the sofa saying, hey, how's it going? And you're not just paying attention to just one guest because that's your favorite guest. When you're hosting something, you're welcoming, and you're making sure that all your guests feel welcome. You're making sure that all your guests know each other, and all your guests, if they can help each other, then they'll help each other. What similarities they have, what differences they have, where they come from. I think it's inbred in women to be welcoming as a host. And when you gather people together, it's a pretty natural thing. And I think that that's really what Meetup saw in WESOS, is that we are growing organically. And the reason that we're growing organically is not because we're all entrepreneurs, and it's not because we're all women. It's because we all have the same idea of, why can't we all just spend time together and have a good time? Like I said, you don't have to like everybody. you do need to respect everybody. And that's just like mothering 101 as far as I'm concerned. Every one of us told our kids that.
Right, right, right. So let me ask you, as you've been growing this, what has been your biggest challenge?
I don't want this to sound, self-deprecating. Am I saying that word right? But my biggest challenge has been my own limitations. Getting myself out there. What does that even mean? I had no idea. It's like, get yourself out there, Jean. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But I figured it out, and do a lot of reading on the subject. I do a lot of business building. When I met Denise, I was actually in the process of trying to build my own WordPress website, because I knew that our WESOS sisters needed a place to be online. And so those limitations of myself were my biggest challenge, of just really, at the age of 50, going out and learning all kinds of technology and stuff. I told you Zoom is my jam. I love Zoom because I figured it all out. Figuring out social media. I mean, before I started WESOS, I wasn't even on Facebook. I'm not a super public person. So yeah, I would have to say, with all the love in my heart for myself, my own limitations were my biggest obstacles to overcome.
So let me ask you this, because I always ask the entrepreneurs that I interview, because this is, something that I work on, is mindset. So when, things get really super crazy, chaotic in your life and with WESOS, and is WESOS your full-time thing now, or is there also, you still have a business aside from that?
Oh, I dabble in everything, but WESOS is my main focus. There's no doubt about it.
So when things get super hairy, what is the mindset that you employ to get you over those humps? Like, what are you thinking and believing about your mission?
It's not so much my mission, it's my life. I like to, I do a lot of meditating, and one of the things that it's taught me is to, especially when things get really nutty, is to step back and watch what's happening. And see and become the observer of your own life, if you will, and realize, the house isn't on fire, no one's dying, no one's dead. Yeah, it was a bad day, and it's okay for me to go take a nap, and it's okay for me to go and lie down. It's okay for me to go and meditate. The world will still be there when I come back. And I think sometimes we put on our superwoman costume, and we think that needs to stay on all the time. I enjoy getting things done, but when things start to overwhelm me, I just have to breathe and move back a little bit. And again, watch what's happening around me, and really make a judgment call whether I need to be running from the building, or if I have to be crying, or if I have to be screaming, or, I think one of the strengths that I have is that when things get super chaotic, I kind of shut down, and I don't ever see what hysterics has, what good that will do for us, any situation.
Yeah, I love everything that you just said. It's just such great self-care, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What kind of advice would you give to a woman who's, she's thinking about what's next, and she's thinking, maybe, being my own boss and not working for the man 60 hours is something that I want to do, something that I want to do, or, why should I go work all those hours for someone else when I can do it for myself? What would you tell her? What advice would you give her?
I think the first thing I would say is stay as positive as possible. So don't ever focus on what you don't want to do. Focus on what you want to do.
I love that.
Yeah, when you focus on what you want to do and what you want to do. I mean, I wanted to find a networking group that fit all my I crossed all my I's and dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's. So when I did it, I wasn't trying to create something. I was doing it because that's what I wanted, and that's what I felt in my heart that I wanted. WESOS grabbed me, because there were times where I thought, why the hell am I doing this? It got hairy. And you can ask anybody. I talk about all the time that my husband was telling me to quit, to stop. Why are you doing this? Oh, absolutely.
Oh my God, 3,500 people later, members later. Wow.
Well, this was only 2 years ago. This is when I met Denise. Yeah.
I love that.
Jean LaVallie crying at night because WESOS, and I told my husband, I said, it's just too important. And I look back now and I think WESOS had a hold on me. WESOS had a hold on me and it wasn't going to let go. And that's how I know that this message is so important. And I say this message, there's this beautiful girl by the name of, if I can remember her name, oh, and I wish I could give her props. She did So Love Fest, and she's just a wonderful girl, Darcy Purcell. And she said to me, she was sitting with me on a one-on-one, and we were talking about just your journey and your mission. And I said, I've got that little voice in the back of my head that's saying, who do you think you are? Really? You're just, oh yeah, you started this group. Who do you think you are? And she said, Jean, it's going to be easier for you to understand that it's not coming from you. It's coming through you. And I said, boom, that's it. That's exactly what I needed to hear. I needed to hear that I have this message from wherever I'm getting the message from. And it needs to come out into the world. And I think that it will serve women. I've seen it serve women. And I think that's what drives me every day, is that I have proof. I have proof.
Yes.
This is something that's working, and it's something that's really, 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 really important for women and the growth of where we're going.
I love that authenticity, following what you're hearing within you and that's coming from outside of you. I love that, Jean. That's awesome. So let me ask you, what is the best mistake you've ever made? Did you just mute yourself?
I did mute myself. I have to run and turn off a timer that I put on for something I put on the stove. I thought we'd be finished by now.
We're done. We're pretty much done. You want to run and do that really quickly, or just tell
me? Can you hear that beeping?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm back.
There we go. Awesome. So what is the best mistake you've ever made, Jean?
The best mistake? I've made so many mistakes, and I just was laying in bed the other day talking to my husband, and I thought I have no regrets. That I've made a lot of mistakes, but as far as WESOS is concerned and my job is concerned, probably the best mistake I ever made, the best mistake I ever made was really not knowing what I was doing and taking that leap of faith of, I don't know what's next, but this is, somebody Judy Feldhausen gave me some really great advice a long time ago. And she told me, Jean, you don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to see the next step. Yeah. And that made so much sense to me because I'm a very focused person when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I often tell people, forget the how, just take the next step, best step that feels good to you. So that sounds like exactly what you did.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jean. Can you please just tell the audience where they can find WESOS online, offline, where your upcoming events are going to be, anything that you want to leave the audience with that they can do some more research and check you guys out?
So your best resource for WESOS is WESOS, WESOS, network.com. And all of our events, all of our locations you can find there. Go to locations. All of our members, so if you're looking for anybody in a particular field, we have a membership directory, and there's also information at the website of how you can become a part of our membership directory. We have all of our social media listed there. Follow us everywhere, obviously. It would be great. If you are an entrepreneurial woman, shoot me a quick message and we'll follow you on Instagram, because that's what we're all about. Is if you're part of the WESOS network, we really want to follow you on all of your social media as well. I think that's about it. We just did announce our holiday party. So if you want to dip your toe into WESOS and meet, our goal this year is 300 women. We already have our keynote speaker, and you'll find the holiday party listed at wesosnetwork.com and how you can get your tickets too.
Awesome. And you're on Facebook as well.
Oh, absolutely. We're on Facebook, and that link, our page is linked to our website, and then our group is linked to our page. But unless you've actually physically been in a WESOS meeting, we want our face-to-face community to be the most important thing. We don't allow you into our group. So make it to a meeting and then ask to be part of the group. Tell us what meeting you went to. That's kind of key, ladies. And we'll put you in the group. Awesome. And it's not a billboard, it's a community.
It definitely is. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you
Thank
taking time
you.
in a busy week to join me here. And everyone else, that's a wrap. We'll see you next week with another Wantapreneur. Have a great week.
Thank you.